In this Exile 2 video, I want to break down the new in-game changes as well as the new league mechanics for this upcoming league, The Last of the Druids. In my previous Exile 2 video, I talked about the Druid itself as far as like what it's capable of and showcased some gameplay they showed off in their recent live stream showcase of the Druid that GGG did. Now, what's coming as a league mechanic here and some changes to the game are some much needed stuff. I mentioned in the Druid video that they're adding over 30 new support gems. We don't know what all these are yet because they didn't reveal them all. They talked about a few. And this is also including like several new lineage supports to bring even more variety to character builds, basically player builds. So that's going to be nice. There's also changes to the character balance as well. There's a long patch note list you can look at if you want to look into that. But it's substantial balance changes. There are some nerfs and some buffs coming. But they're also adding, I believe, 10 or 11 new unique items as well and more. Now, the fate of the Val itself is a new league. You'll be able to explore the opulent temple of Exile, the queen of the Val, during the height of her power in the capital of the ancient empire. With the power of the beast, Exile plans to risk her entire civilization in pursuit of eternal youth. Can she be stopped? Her royal architect and devoted followers will work against you. But perhaps the past is not yet set in stone. There's a theme of power of sacrifice here. Now that the corruption has returned to the land, the long dead Vol structures throughout Rayclast are activated and affecting nearby creatures. Sacrifice the afflicted monsters to power the devices and travel to Lyra Vol, the ancient temple of Atsiri. Something I think that's really cool that they're doing is they're allowing us players to build our own dungeon. By sacrificing creatures across Rayclast, you will gather enough power to modify the temple and create your desired layout. Placing rooms next to other rooms that benefit them will level them up, adding new challenges and rewards to find. Complete more beacons to get more energy to fuel more additions to the temple. Each room in the temple offers great rewards, from stashes of currency and equipment to something more interesting. There are more than a dozen types of rooms to build from, each with its own monsters and rewards. Throughout the league, you'll discover new rooms and reap the treasures they have to offer. And there are ways to essentially double the rewards, like level up certain rooms. It's going to be self-explanatory in a sense when you do actually go in the game, because it'll let you know like what different rooms can help each other out basically. And you can also save certain rooms, because certain rooms will go away after you go through them, or I guess complete a temple. And there's a way to preserve, I think, at least one or a few of them. This league wants you to embrace the corruption as well, so take advantage of the power of corruption by using the special crafting mechanisms found in Lyra Val. Most of those crafts can be taken back to your hideout as tradable currency items. The corruption altar allows you to add a second enchantment to your already corrupted items, but beware, there's a 50% chance to destroy the item irreversibly, so it is a risk. You will face the royal architect. In your temple exploration, eventually you will encounter the royal architect, who will risk his own life to protect his queen. Defeating the architect will grant you access to even more special rewards and crafting mechanics and unlock a truly royal audience. The queen herself, well, worshipped for her unrivaled beauty, Exile was the infamous queen of the Fall, whose ambitions led her people to extinction in Fate of the Fall. You will encounter Exile at her prime as a pinnacle boss of the league. Do you dare to challenge her and attempt to rewrite the history? Well, yeah, I mean, that's the intention. Now, if you're wondering about the previous league mechanic, the Rise of the Abyssal, well, that's going to be core. So that's going to be part of the core game experience in Endgame. Your fight with the Abyssals is not over yet, as the mechanic is being added to the Endgame of Exile 2. It states here on the official website, Abyss has also received a set of passives on the Atlas tree, as well as new Endgame tablets. And that's not all. There's going to be over 250 new passive skills to the passive skill tree that's being added there, and it's going to be reworked. There's going to be some things changed. Over 10 unique items that are going to be new, which I mentioned earlier. The new weapon class, talismans, because of Druid. Talismans are two-handed martial weapons that are used for shape-shifting attacks. They are adding 4 new augment items with new modifiers that you can craft onto your items as well. And they're going to be improving the performance of the game for both console and PC. Now, the patch notes are available on the official website. I can put a link in the description below for you guys who want to look at them fully, because there's a lot of stuff to read over. I'm not going to go over all that stuff here. I'm not really going to go over any of it. There's some player changes, ascendancy changes, class changes, things like that. Certain changes to how certain abilities work for each ascendancy class and how certain gems work or passive skill tree changes, things like that. It's a lot. It's a lot. And some bug fixes, of course. They're trying to continuously fix the bugs, figure that out. Monster changes, though, is a key thing they talked about here when it comes to Endgame. So they tried to reduce the density before, right, with the monsters, but apparently there are players, a lot of players out there still essentially complain about how there's just too many mobs and monsters, like catching them and coring them. Essentially, they can't escape, so they die from it, right? So now they decided to reduce the amount of monsters even more, but to balance out, they are scaling them up by 40%. So they're essentially reducing the amount of monsters by 40%, and then they're going to have the current amount or new amount of monsters, I should say, have like 40% more health. And I think they do more 40% more damage, things like that, on top of the regular stats. This is going to be a concerning thing because I know there's a lot of builds out there that rely on, like, you get life per enemy killed or get men per enemy killed, things like that. So with there being less monsters in the end game on these maps, like, it's going to be concerning as far as how that's actually going to affect builds that rely on the whole, kill enemy to get this thing basically to pop off. So I don't know. We'll see. They may have to make some changes mid league on this, but I know that's a big concern from some players already, as well as some other concerns. There's movement speed being reduced, I believe, but there's other ways to increase it. So they're doing some weird stuff with that. We'll just have to wait and see what happens with this. It does drop December 12th. And honestly, hopefully it's a lot of good things. Just be careful, check the patch notes, see if your build has gotten nerfed in any way. So I'm hoping they didn't really do too much to Hollow Palm Monk, but I definitely want to try out the new Druid class and just have fun with this new league, the new league mechanic. This is really interesting, very high risk, high reward type of theme here with the whole sacrificing, with the corruption, where you can corrupt an item twice and you just risk losing it. So yeah, and usually when you corrupt an item, you can't change it or anything like that. You can't do anything with it after that. Well, they're changing it to let you corrupt it twice. So that's going to be very interesting to see what happens and all the other cool new in-game stuff here. What do you guys think about this? Are you excited for this? Are you happy? Are you upset? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next video.